Consciousness happening. I am Vivian Rich, your host here with Live Richer with Ease, where it is our intent to inspire you and empower you to develop a rich mindset for financial well-being and a lifestyle improvement. I am super excited to be with you today and share with you, it's not your skin. It is not your skin. I know we're in Black History Month currently, and a lot of things are being focused around the great things and contributions and assets that we've added as being a person of color to this wonderful land that we live in. Well, here, I want to share a story with you. A friend of mine went out of town, actually went out of the country. And I've been getting this on my feeds, and it all depends on what you're looking at on your feed line. You know, the algorithms would generate more of that. And I've been seeing a lot of people sharing about how wonderful it is living abroad, how wonderful and how exciting it is, and how well appreciated they are when they live abroad. And a friend of mine recently went abroad, and she had a situation where she had a lot of things in her hands, and she had her key to her room also was visible in her hand as well. However, it was a little bit hard for her to manipulate and get the button pressed, right? However, someone else helped her. Another guest of the hotel saw her situation, and they reached and they saw her key, and so they got her key and scanned it in order for her to get to her room, right? And put it back in her hand. There was a language barrier. They didn't communicate the same language. Do you know that when it was told to me, this friend thought that person was kind and was doing a generous act towards them at that time and in that moment. However, that had happened in the United States, it would have been perceived differently. She, would have thought of it as an infringement of space or something different than what it was, than the way she perceived it. So that really brought me to thinking, you know what? It really is not in the skin, it's in the mind. So the mindset that we have when we're going into different spaces, it determines our experience. I am reading, and today, as we always come through on Monday, from a good book here, Health, Wealth, and Joy, and Prosperity to You. It's a study guide, which you can get. I have it linked inside of our description on whatever platform you're on. It's linked there. It's available that you can get a copy of it. I encourage you to, because it really is allowing me. It's a book that I used to manifest a lot of great experiences in my life, not based on my skin, but on my mind. All right. And I believe it will definitely benefit you as well. It really is week by week. We're going through this here week by week. We're in week 8 right now, believe it or not. And it's really transformed my life in many ways, allowed me the opportunity to live in Hawaii, as well as not just live in Hawaii. I live in Hawaii to the point that I know I was in Hawaii by waking up every morning, ocean front. All right. I knew that. I created that because that was something I wanted to experience. And using this tool and this guidebook helped me in that process of achieving that experience. And I want to share with you different ways here to empower you to be able to experience the life you want to experience with ease. Okay, that's it, with ease. It's got to be ease, honey. It's got to be ease, because there's a whole lot of other things that could be going on. It's got to be some ease in it. So in here, we start out this week here with regards to sharing that it starts out, the Lord is no respecter of person. This is great for people. And I tell you this, it is biblically inspired for my friends that are Christian and that believe in the Bible, but it also takes it from a psychological standpoint, so that we all can understand that it's a science of mind, because science means ever changing, ever knowing, and getting, we're knowing and learning new ways of being. And so in here, he refers to certain scriptures, and a lot of that is dealing. And one of the first ones here starts off with is renewing your mind. You've got to be able to know how to renew your mind every day. Every day, we're given many opportunities to renew our mind. Many opportunities to renew our mind. So Had that situation I shared with you with regards to my friend and her experience abroad, had that happened here in the US in a quiet country side, over in the country area, as we would like to refer to it, the perception would have been totally different. It would have been the whole experience would have been told to me in a different way, I'm pretty sure. However, it was her mindset and the opportunity that she had to shift, and which brought me to thinking about Jackie Robinson. You know, he experienced, I watched 42 this weekend. All right, guys, I did. I had a lot of opportunities to delve into the mind work of perception and thoughts and beliefs and how we believe things to be. And I actually looked at 42. If some of you don't know about it, it's the story of Jackie Robinson. He was he integrated baseball here in the United States to allow for people that look like me and you, of the same hue, to be able to play in the National Baseball League, because there was two separate leagues. Unfortunately, that's how our human minds think. We get to those humaning aspects and we just start to divide everything and categorize and block it off here and there, which does not serve us. All right, it doesn't serve us. But nonetheless, I watched some of his documentary, The 42, and just thinking of the mindset that he had to have in order to endure the things that he endured. Not only was he not welcome by the league in general, he only had one person rooting for him, okay? One person rooting for him outside of his skin tone, okay? One person, to his knowledge. But not only that, he also had to deal with it on the field. Not only that, he also had to deal with it within the locker room amongst his colleagues. And it was pretty intense. I don't know for sure if many of us in this day have the mental fortitude to withstand that. Tell me, do you? Do you? Because it wasn't his skin that was that gave him the ability to prevail in that situation, open the door so that we can have our Hank Aaron's and we can have our Bo Jacksons and all of the great baseball players that we have had, since he pierced the veil and came and opened that door for people of color. It was a mental fortitude that was required for him to do that. And that came more and more, one person believing in him for sure, but most importantly, him believing in himself and knowing his identity. And that's what I invite you today, rich friends. Who are you spiritually? Knowing your spiritual identity will open doors for you faster than knowing your physical identity will ever do. It's your spiritual identity that opens those doors for you and make way for you when you just don't know how that way is going to be made. It's not so much as your skin tone. And I would invite you to give more emphasis on your spiritual awareness of who you are, your spiritual identity. I once did a study on distinct natural alignment over in the Live Rich with Ease community. And that helps you to know who you are, your distinct natural alignment, DNA, knowing who you really are. And when you know that, you are going to be able to move differently, think differently. People will line up and support you differently when you know who you are. But unfortunately, many people just don't know who they are, or more unfortunately, is they know, but they don't exercise in their identity. They don't walk in their authority. They don't walk in knowing who they are and what is available to them. And I know that's not you, rich friend, because you're here, because you're really wanting to learn and experience a better quality of life. You want to have more money in your experience, but not only the money, you want to have more abundance of joy, abundance of peace, abundance of health, abundance in every form, because that is your natural birthright. That is your birthright, to experience the best that there is without conviction, without any doubt. That's your birthright. And the only way you get to take hold of your birthright is to claim it. We get to claim it. And in here, he goes on to say that when you know who you are, you can be, do, and have what you want. That is the essence of being, doing what you want to have, when you know who you are. And by knowing who you are, you're able to experience it more. And then it goes on to share that self-discovery, this is a path we're on, rich friend. This life and this human experience is a path of self-discovery, knowing who you are, the God power within you, how it wants to express itself, and being okay and open to it doing that, and being one with it. Not afraid to say who you are and be who you are. I mean, there's a lot of people that are really doing and being and saying what they want to say, and they're not really sure who they are, but they're saying what they've heard. Because a lot of times we've heard a lot of things, we've adopted a lot of principles and beliefs that we were born into. Could you say you were born into some things? Mm-hmm. You might have been born into a single parent household. You may have been born into a family that may not have had the best, or may have had, really was what they call dirt poor. There was such a thing as dirt poor. For some of you that may not have known this, dirt poor, that term means that your breakfast and dinner, your meal of substance was typically the dirt. And anybody, I know some of you may or may not know about this, but there was a time that people ate dirt, literally ate dirt. And there probably are still people that do in this time and age. However, it's not as common. And so that's where the term dirt poor. But that does not mean that you have to be that. That doesn't have to be your experience. You get to choose that experience by renewing your mind. Because you know in your gut and your heart and your spirit that you are here to experience more, that there is something more for you, that you're not to just struggle and work every day just to pay bills, that you are to enjoy life. You're able to travel, that you're able to enjoy and have great conversations and great relationships, that you're able to really enjoy your peace and knowing who you are. Because I believe that's what it was that helped Jackie Robinson to actually pierce that veil of racism that he experienced. It wasn't his skin, it was his mind that he used to help him get across there and open the door so we can experience. All of us can go to any game we want to, regardless of race or color, regardless of that, of your race. You can go to any game. You can go to experience a lot of things that you want to, especially here in the U.S. You can do a lot of different things that you want to. Now, yes, there may be some areas that there's some things that may be unspoken rules, but here's my experience. I mean, we had the experience of driving through one of the deep South states that were known, and is still known on their books for racism, for slavery. It's known. It's still there. And my guy and I, we had the opportunity, and we took off the main beaten path and went down some back roads because of whatever reason, adventure, let's just say that. And we had the opportunity to purchase gas from a gas station, which had a little restaurant inside of it. And we knew it was very much well in what they call the sticks, or in the country, and some people would refer to. But we went in there. We purchased the gas. We purchased the gas, and he was pumping. I went inside, and I was impressed with the fact that there was this nice eatery in there attached to the gas station. So it was like a thing, before we had our Buc-ee's or Wawa's and all those things, You'd come in there, and it was like home cooked meal. There was collard greens. There was some macaroni and cheese up in there. There was some smothered chicken and some smothered pork chop. There was some lemon pepper chicken. There was a lot of good stuff. That I'm from the South, so I like that kind of stuff, and it loves me as well. Anyway, we went in there, and it just smelled so good. And then they had pineapple upside down cake. Oh my gosh, that was a dream come true. And the people were so nice. They were nice. The owner of the eatery came out to meet me and just really enjoyed having a nice conversation. And I trust you, my rich friends. She did not look anything like me. And there was no one else in that restaurant or even at the gas station that had the same hue as I did. However, they had the same heart. They had the same heart. They had renewed their mind. They wanted to have a better quality of life and great experiences with people. It doesn't matter the skin. Don't get locked in on the skin. That's a superficial game we play in our human experience, unfortunately. And I mean, I'm not saying that there has not been any hard things that have happened and unfair and crucial, detrimental things that have happened. No, I'm not going to turn a blind eye to that. I'm not. It happened. However, I know we have the power right now within us to create a better future, to create better experiences for ourselves and for future generations. I'm pretty certain that was the thought that, and I know that was the energy that allowed Jackie Robinson to endure what he did. He wasn't doing it only for Jackie anymore. He was moving forward and doing things for the coming generations, for his children's children, for the whole America as a country. It wasn't a movement just for himself. So a lot of times we will move and we will do things and do the impossible when we're doing it for someone else outside of ourselves. But I want to invite you, rich friends, to look inside and let's make some differences and make changes of our mind by renewing our mind for ourselves first and foremost, because we're going to be we should be the beneficiary of whatever good we desire. We should, undoubtedly. We should have access to that. Because if you have the ability to think it, you have the ability also to experience it. But what I've come to learn and what we constantly are sharing with our friends over in the Live Rich with Ease Society is the opportunity to shift their mind and control their thoughts and to be able to see and be and do the good that they want to experience and have it all. You can, and it doesn't have to be on layaway, okay? For some of you that may not know what layaway is, that was the thing where you want to buy it this season, you see it this season, and you go to the back of the store and you put a little money on it, they hold it for you, and it might be next season before you get it, okay? So that's layaway. No more layaway, my rich friends. This is the time we're all on a path of self-discovery. We're all on a path of getting better and being better and doing better by way of shifting our mindset. And I invite you, rich friend, to shift your mind to a new way of being. A new way of being is what I said, because that's the only way it's going to happen. It's only going to happen there when you shift your mind for a new way of being. The money shows up in your bank account after it showed up in your mind. All right? The money shows up in your bank account after it shows up in your mind. If it's not in your mind to have that with grace and ease, it will not show up if you do not have it in your mind. So in order for you to have it, it will show up. And it's not so much as the money, rich friends, especially those of you right now, we're in tax season here in the U.S. And our friends at Fresh Start Wealth Solutions can assist you if you need assistance with tax preparation services. And they also have a tax training that's available for anyone. You can click the link below and find out more information about that. But being that we're in tax season, there's money. Some of you are receiving large sums of money, and some of you may have to pay out some money. That is a part of it. But it all started first in your mindset. And I want to invite you, especially if you're on the receiving end, I want to invite you before those funds come to you, delegate and allocate where it goes. Give it some place to go that's going to benefit you multiple times, not a one and done, okay? Not the high of going to purchase this from, XYZ store in the mall and have nothing, you can't resell it or utilize it as an asset in the future. No, that's not what we're doing. This is an opportunity to renew your mind, because you can be, do, and have whatever you want. You can experience it all. You can experience it all, but you've got to be able to be disciplined enough to share and tell your money where to go. Telling your money to go where to go. Now, I'm getting into the fresh start side because I just see it, unfortunately, too often that people ask the question, did I make all that money and where did it go? Here again, it's the renewing of the mind. It's all a mental thing. It's a mental thing. You got to see yourself where you want to be and what you want to experience. And you've got to see yourself with so much clarity and so much vigor that everything else has to move out of your way. It has to move. It has to move. And it will line up with your path. You know, everything you want and need is already here on your path. You came into this experience divinely financed and cared for. You and I get the opportunity to exercise that, lining up within ourselves and knowing who we are. And because we live, but as a result of our consciousness, our awareness, our mindset, our heart set, what we're thinking and believing, our thoughts and beliefs create our experiences over and over again. A lot of times, we hear it, but we don't embrace and embody it. Give attention to what you're thinking about. Give attention to where your thoughts are going on any given moment in any given situation, because it's not your skin. It is your mind, rich friend. I am Vivian Rich, and I hope that you found some value today. Hit the like and hit the share button. And also be sure to comment. Even if you have different views, comment. We appreciate you. And today is a great day to be rich.